Your live interactive weather authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live weather authority coverage starts right now.
Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Monday to you. Hopefully you had a good weekend. I am so happy that we ended up with one nice day at least. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous. Felt like a real summer day out there with the high humidity and the warmth. Some of us getting close to 90 yesterday afternoon. Today, of course, it's quite the different story out there. Cooler, it's much cloudier, it's foggy, it's misty, it's rainy, and that's the way it's going to stay today. So unfortunately, the nice sunshine from yesterday not carrying over into today. But I wanted to jump on Facebook Live because we've had quite the active morning. If you live in the Lakes region, Naples, Sebago, anywhere around Sebago Lake towards the Bridgeton area, you may have been woken up this morning by some very loud, very active thunderstorms. We saw so many lightning strikes this morning. I saw there were some structure fires caused by the lightning. And of course, those storms were also putting down lots and lots of heavy rain. In fact, we have a flash flood warning still in place going through noon up in Oxford, as well as in Franklin County in the mountains. That goes, as I mentioned, until lunchtime. So thanks for joining in, everybody. Would love to hear your reports. If you were woken up early this morning by thunder, would love to hear from you guys. Also, if you've seen any flooding, would love to hear any reports about that. I know we have seen some in some parts of the area, but any reports that you guys can send in would be greatly appreciated. So if you live in the Lakes region, if you live up towards the mountains, let me know if you have seen any flooding. Have you seen any flooding or any storms this morning? Sorry, I just wanted to add in this banner. There we go. So if you've seen any flooding or any storms, would love to hear some reports from you guys. If you're not dealing with the flooding rains or the storms, we were dealing with the very dense fog out there. In fact, I can still see it is very, very foggy here in the Portland area. So Andover up in Oxford County, Route 120 is closed there due to flooding from Route 5 to Roxbury Pond Road. We knew there was going to be some sort of flooding reports eventually coming out of there with some of the rainfall totals that we saw. Thank you, Maria. Sebago, wild T-storm last night. That is right. I could see the lightning at 3 a.m. this morning driving into work. I was wondering if anybody in the Lakes region was woken up early this morning. I bet there were quite a few people who were rudely awoken on this Monday morning by the showers and, of course, the thunderstorms, all that lightning and thunder out there. So, yes, we dealt with the heavy storms earlier, still dealing with some lingering flooding out there, and it's pretty easy to see why when you see some of these rainfall totals. So Maria says she was in Sebago. In the Sebago area, 3.5 to 4 inches of rain fell in that storm earlier this morning. Very, very impressive for a storm like that. The moisture is just so high in our air right now. Very tropical downpours that can put down a lot of rain. Up in the flash flood warning zone where we're getting those flooding reports coming in, 7 inches of rain estimated to have fallen by radar. So very, very impressive, very heavy storms that we saw earlier this morning. And that put down, of course, a ton of rain and led to those flooding issues. But oddly enough, here we are in Portland, we've seen hardly a drop. So it just depends on where you are. And that's going to be the case through much of this week. It's going to depend on where you are for those shower and storm chances and for that risk of flooding. So still have that flash flood warning, including the Andover area, part of the Route 2 corridor up in Oxford County. Also includes a little bit of Franklin County, but it has been trimmed back out of Franklin County a little bit. So from the west side of Farmington all the way through the New Hampshire border, that's where we saw some of the heaviest rain earlier this morning and where we've been dealing with some of those flooding issues. So let's talk about the fog. Of course, we saw plenty of that as well. Still dealing with that here in the Portland area. I just ran across the street to get my Dunkin' order, and it was very, very foggy. So quarter-mile visibility here in Portland, still less than 2 miles in Sanford, 2 miles or less in Lewiston. Going to continue to deal with this fog at times throughout the day, especially along the coastline. Don't really think we'll see a complete improvement in the visibility out there. We will certainly see some improvements, but I think it will still remain pretty misty and somewhat foggy through the rest of the day. But the great news is it does not look all that wet. Maybe a brief shower or two, but otherwise cloudy, fairly cool, misty for today. Not going to be all that wet out there as we head into this afternoon, unless you live in the mountains. The mountains does have a better chance of seeing some more widespread showers and storms. But look at our temperatures today, stuck right around 62 degrees all through this afternoon. Temperatures really not changing a whole lot today, but with the high humidity, still feels pretty warm out there. I was noticing that it really didn't feel like it was 62 degrees when I was out there earlier. All right, so today, because of these slightly cooler temperatures, the humidity levels are just a little bit better. So we're going to see some improvements, especially when compared to yesterday in terms of humidity for today. But by tomorrow and through the rest of the week, our humidity levels going to be very, very high, very muggy out there each day through the end of this week and into the weekend. So Natalie says, I was hoping that we were going to get a thunderstorm this morning. I live in Moscow. Are we planning to get any storms today? It does look like there's at least the potential, Natalie, not a guarantee, but there is a very good chance that you'll get at least some sort of storm activity at some point throughout this week. So it is going to be the potential there, but does not look like it will be a guarantee, Natalie. So hopefully that answers your question. But there is definitely the chance of a storm, and I'd say your chance is higher than someone along the coastline since you are further inland. So yeah, it all comes down to location. Natalie, just a few miles down the road from you, there was upwards of 7 inches of rain. So it's all going to come down to location. You may end up under a very heavy storm, or you may completely miss out on one. Hard to say or guarantee if you'll be under one of those or not. But there's at least a good chance you'll see some more storm activity later on today. Let's take a look at our storm tracker. Notice the mountains, like up in Moscow where Natalie is, there is the chance for, or the better chance I should say, for some showers and storms. So the coastline, really just foggy and misty and drizzly today. Not going to see a whole lot of heavy rain at the coastline. Best chance of that is further inland, but do expect more of the same as we head into tomorrow. Likely some more thunderstorms tonight, and then more scattered showers and storms through the day on Tuesday. Now, tomorrow does look warmer at least. We'll be in the 70s out there for many of us during the afternoon. Could also be a peak of sunshine or two, although it'll be almost completely cloudy again for our Tuesday with those scattered shower and storm chances continuing. Heading into Wednesday, expect very similar weather out there, more scattered showers and storms, temperatures in the 70s, possibly a few peaks of sunshine, but overall expect things to remain cloudy and quite damp out there on our Wednesday. So remaining very active each day this week does bring some sort of rain chance, even though it won't be a widespread soaking rain each day. In fact, each day does look like it will have plenty of dry hours as well. So let's take a look at our rain chances as we head through the rest of this week. Scattered shower and storm chances out there for today into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, looking just ever so slightly drier. Not going to be quite as wet out there as we head towards the end, or towards the middle part, I should say, of this week. Now, Friday, the rain chances look like they do ramp up a little bit more once again, but by Saturday, that's going to bring the driest day we get this week. And then next week, it does look like we at least begin to see the potential to dry out. We're really crossing our fingers, you guys, that we can finally flip this annoying, persistent wet pattern by the time we get into the 4th of July timeframe. So we're really keeping our eye on early next week for the potential to dry out. So hopefully that can end up happening for us here. We really do not want this weather to continue through 4th of July. So sneak preview, 4th of July. Of course, it's such an important holiday. I feel like we should start talking about it and start thinking about the weather early next Tuesday because so many of us have so many plans going on early next week. So positive trends for July 4th. So this is the pattern we've been stuck in for basically the entire month of June. We are 4 days towards the end of the month. Portland running 4 degrees below average and about 1.5 inches above average for rainfall. And that's all because we've seen this big dip in the jet stream area of low pressure stuck over New England, bringing us day after day with rain, showers, and storms. Well, as we head towards 4th of July, there are some positive trends. Some of the models beginning to agree that we will see this pattern beginning to shift early next week. Now, it's still a little iffy on if that can happen in time for 4th of July, but the trends are positive. So that's something very fortunate for us here. We'll keep an eye on that. Temperatures look like they'll be remaining warm. It looks like we'll gradually dry out heading into next week and looking drier. Fingers crossed for 4th of July. So we got to keep our fingers crossed, keep hoping and praying that it will end up dry for 4th of July. But the trends are not too bad. So we'll just have to keep a very close eye on that as we head through the rest of this week and into the weekend. So if you do have 4th of July plans next week, you want to get outdoors, watch the fireworks, here's how it's looking. It is looking potentially like it will be drier. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. But let's take a look at our 7-day forecast, because this week, dry is not a word I would use to describe it. Quite wet out there. Shower and storm chances each day. No soaking rain. It doesn't look like any day is particularly completely a washout, but there will be showers and storms out there each day. Today, pretty cool. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, warming back up into the 70s, lower to middle 70s out there. Friday, a little cooler. And then Saturday, if you want to get outdoors again this week or get out in the sunshine, Saturday, probably our best chance for that. Likely to see the clouds break up a little bit with just the slight chance of a shower. Saturday looking like our driest day this week, ahead of what looks like more soaking rain on Sunday. But I'm hoping that Sunday's soaking rain is the last of it. Hopefully that's with a cold front that will help to clear us out for 4th of July. So again, really, we got to keep our fingers crossed here. It is hard to kick these patterns when you get stuck in them. Let's hope we can do it by the 4th of July holiday, or at least just get a break in it for a couple of days. If you're inland, also cool today, warming up by tomorrow and into Wednesday in the mid-70s. That continues through the end of the week, with Saturday bringing the warmest weather and likely the driest weather, right around 80 degrees on Saturday afternoon, with mainly cloudy skies and the chance for a shower. But there's the potential, as I mentioned, for the sun to come out as well. So on the plus side, you guys, not going to be very chilly this week, still going to be warm, although that does come with the added effect of being very humid out there. You'll really notice it with these warm temperatures, but it's not a washout each day. There's just that scattered shower and storm chance. So I would still do some outdoor activities, make those outdoor plans. Just keep the rain gear handy just in case you do run into one of those showers or storms. So of course, we'll keep tracking all of the shower and storm potential for you this week. And of course, that all important July 4th forecast, as well as the potential for flooding as we head through this week. Of course, we saw some this morning. Very likely we do see some more as we head through this week. So stay safe out there, everybody. Remember to never drive through a flooded roadway and to head indoors. If you do get caught in a thunderstorm or you're out in the lightning and thunder, always remember to head inside. So hope everyone has a great rest of your Monday. Of course, we'll keep you posted on the forecast as we head through the rest of this week. Have a great one, everybody.